What up everybody, Patrick Garcia here, Legendary Lifestyles. And today I want to talk to you guys about people who try to knock you off your center. Okay, so a couple weeks ago I was in my car heading into Stonestown, and when cars get piled up in the middle of an intersection, even though the lights are green, for the other side, on the right side, it's time for them to go. So I don't want to be stuck in the middle of the intersection, so I swerved around the car in front of me in order to create some space so the cars behind me could go. And I wasn't going to run over anybody, but I know there was a crosswalk there, and this lady just came up in front of me and said, "Hey, don't you know it says walk? Fuck you!" and just like flicked me off and was like really aggressive and started yelling at me and stuff. And usually I'm sort of passive to that stuff, so I was like, okay. And then I thought about it, and maybe it's like the self-development, self-improvement side of me, the sort of like the video journalist blogger, but part of me wanted to confront her. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to this person. So it sounds crazy, but I actually parked my car, got out, and actually ran around the intersection. I think it's like around Holloway Avenue, in that area where SFSU is at. And I was looking for this lady. She must have been like in her late 40s or early 50s, but I wanted to talk to her and ask her, like, what gives you the right to do that to people? I don't know, it sounds really corny and stupid, but that's what I wanted to do. Now, the difference of somebody who is more unconscious in that state of mind is probably rage, violence, anger, and maybe it'll escalate it into something physical. But that's what I kind of wanted to talk about, is when people try to knock you off your center like that, whether you're standing in line or somebody has road rage and tries to confront you. Somebody who is unconscious in their thought is not being controlled at that moment in time. What's happening there is that their mind is telling them what to do. So normally we think that we're actually in control of our minds, when in reality we're not. Our minds are in control of us. So there's a famous saying that goes, "I think, therefore I am." Now when you take a closer look at that, technically it's true. But the thing is, the more you look at it, I guess there was a philosopher who really dissected that saying. The more you look at it and delve into it, what that philosopher found out is that if your mind is completely full of thoughts, then you're not even aware that you're alive. You're not even present to the moment. So when your mind is full of thoughts like that, you are living in a state of unconsciousness where you're not conscious of what you're doing. So for me, if I was running around, yo, I want to talk to this person full of road rage and blah, 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 I'm not in control of my body. I'm not even aware of what I'm doing. But I was. Okay, so that's the first step to living in a more conscious state of mind, is that you're aware of what you're doing. If you eat something because you're hungry and it's unhealthy, that's basically your unconscious state telling you to do that. But if you, let's say you're really hungry and it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you eat one of those like really unhealthy hot dogs that are like wrapped in bacon and stuff like that, street meat, okay, so that's not you thinking at all. That's your impulses telling you to eat that hot dog. So the first step to avoiding that is like, oh, I'm eating this hot dog at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is bad carbs, bad meat, and this is so bad. Okay, so what's the problem there? Well, you're eating it anyway, but the fact that you know that it's bad and you know that you shouldn't be eating bad carbs at that time is the first step to reaching a higher level of consciousness. So for me, when I was chasing around that lady, I knew exactly what I was doing. Look, when I find her, she's gonna be like, where are the cops? Oh my God, this person's crazy. But I really just wanted to lecture her. Okay, so that sounds really stupid on my behalf and really crazy, but hey, I don't stick up for myself a whole lot, and I kind of wanted to. I said that I would never shoot in my room, so I'm making this an exception, okay, because I didn't really quite know how to end the last video, so You know, I'm going to do it right now. The next time that somebody tries to knock you off your center, recognize what that person's doing and recognize what you're doing. And like I said in a previous video, be proactive to the situation and not reactive to the situation. You know, try to rationalize that moment and figure out what is the next step of action. What is the next course of action? Now, if you're being physically harmed, or if you've been in a car accident like myself, I've been in like 3 car accidents, your DNA will kick in, you know, and your adrenaline will kick in, and that survival instinct will sort of autopilot itself and manifest. So just recognize the difference between, because there's a very thin line with that. So if you're at McDonald's or whatever in your restaurant and the waiter gets your order wrong, sometimes your DNA and your adrenaline will kick in and you will take it personally. But, you know, the thing that I learned from Eckhart Tolle is that that's not you. It's your ego. And your ego is being hurt. And that's why when you get an order wrong in the restaurant, you take it personally. And you think that you've been treated very unfairly when that's not the case. It's just your ego. Okay, so yeah, so when next time somebody tries to knock you off and throw you off your groove in your game, just be present. And yeah, and meditation helps. Okay, so alright, become legendary.